Using parental control, you can control computer usage, internet usage, messaging via the internet. To open the settings window of the parental control component, in the lower part of the main application window, select Parental Control. Enter the password in the window and check the Save Password for Current Session box. Click the Enter button. In the Parental Control window, click the Settings button next to the required account. You can specify an alias or select another image that would be displayed in the application interface for an account. For this, in the left part of the Parental Control window on the Settings tab, select the User Account Settings section. Enter an alias and select an image. To save the changes, click the Apply button. Control over computer usage. If you want to limit the time which the user spends working on the computer, restrict use of the computer by time. You can also limit the overall time spent on the computer and specify the required time interval for every weekday. For this, in the left part of the Parental Control window, select the Computer Usage section. In the right part of the Parental Control window, check the Enable Control box. Check the Limit Usage on the Selected Days box. Highlight green the time intervals on certain weekdays when the computer will be available for the user. To prohibit computer use, highlight gray the time interval on certain weekdays. You can set the overall number of hours and minutes when the computer will be available to the user. For this, check the box Limit Daily Usage Time and specify the total operating time. Thus, the user will spend by the computer's set number of hours at the specified time interval, highlighted green in the table. If you want to control applications launched by the user, you can enable control over the application's usage and create lists of allowed and blocked applications. For this, in the left part of the Parental Control window, select the Applications Usage section. In the right part of the Parental Control window, check the Enable Control box. To create the list of allowed or blocked applications, in the right part of the window in the Applications section, click the Add button. In the Control Running the Application window, select the application executable file by clicking the Select button. To select the software installed on the computer, choose the Browse item. In the Open window, find the software executable file and click the Open button. To select among running software, select the Applications item. In the Select Application window, select the application and click the OK button. Allow or block the application launch and set the necessary restrictions. To limit the overall time of the application's usage, check the Limit Usage on the Selected Days box. Highlight green the time intervals on certain weekdays when the application will be available for the user. Highlight gray the time interval on certain weekdays to block the application usage. To set the overall number of hours and minutes when the application startup will be available to the user, check the box Limit Daily Usage Time and specify the total operating time. In the Control Running the Application window, click the OK button. Save the changes by clicking the Apply button in the Parental Control window. You can edit the list of applications using the buttons Add, Allow Block, Edit, Delete. If the control is enabled, the start time and the usage time of the computer and the applications will be displayed in the report. If you want to view the report, in the Parental Control window, go to the Reports tab. To view the report of the computer usage, select Computer Usage. To view the report of the application startup, select Applications Usage. You can create a report for a definite time interval. For this, select the period in the corresponding drop-down list. Similarly, you can view the report for any component of the parental control settings. Control over Internet usage. If you want to limit the time which the user spends on the Internet, you can configure Internet access. You can also limit the overall time spent on the Internet and specify the required overall time on the Internet for every weekday. For this, In the left part of the parental control window, select Internet Usage. In the right part of the parental control window, check the Enable Control box. Check the box Limit Usage on the selected days. Highlight green the time intervals on certain weekdays when the Internet will be available for the user. To prohibit Internet access, highlight gray the time interval on certain weekdays. To set the overall number of hours and minutes when the Internet will be available to the user, check the box Limit Daily Usage Time and specify the total operating time. Click the Apply button to save the changes. When working with the search engines, for example Google, Bing, the search results may display unacceptable materials, for example websites containing pornography. You can exclude such websites from the search results the following way. In the left part of the parental control window, select Web Browsing. In the right part of the parental control window, check the Enable Safe Search box. Click the Apply button. Use the Control Web Browsing option to restrict access for the user to a website. You can block or allow the access to all sites except the sites which are added to the list of allowed sites, or specify the categories according to which access to a site will be granted. For example, you can block websites from the violence or weapons category. To restrict access, in the right part of the parental control window, make sure the control is enabled. If you want to restrict access to some website categories, in the left part of the parental control window, select Web Browsing. In the right part of the window, select the Block Websites from the following categories variant. Check the categories you want to block or use the links Select All, Clear All. Click the Apply button. If you want to restrict access to all websites except websites from the exclusions list, in the left part of the parental control window, select Web Browsing. In the right part of the parental control window, in the Block Websites section, select the Block Access to All Websites except websites allowed in the list of exclusions variant. Click the Exclusions button to create the list of allowed websites. In the Block Websites Exclusions window, click the Add button. In the Address Mask URL window, enter the address of an allowed website and click the OK button. In the Block Websites Exclusions window, click the OK button. You can create the list of blocked websites the same way, but in the Address Mask URL window, check the Block This URL. You can control and block downloading of files depending on their category from the Internet. For this, in the left part of the parental control window, select File Downloads. In the right part of the parental control window, check the Enable Control box. In the File Category section, select the necessary category, for example, Video, and click the Block button. The status will change to Blocked in the Status column. Click the Apply button to save the changes. You can view the report about actions of every user for whom parental control is enabled on each category of the controlled events. To view a report, go to the Reports tab in the parental control window and select the necessary section: Internet Usage, Web Browsing, or File Downloads. Control over messaging on the Internet. If you want to restrict messaging of the user with other users via instant messengers, ICQ, Miranda, you can enable control and create lists of allowed or blocked contacts. For this, in the right part of the instant messaging section, click the Enable Control box. If you want to create the list of allowed contacts, in the left part of the parental control window, select Instant Messaging. In the right part of the parental control window, in the Contacts section, click the Add Contact button. In the New Contact window, select the necessary contact from a list of existing contacts, or click the Manually link and enter an account number or contact email address. In the Description field, enter a proper description which will be displayed in the list of allowed contacts. Click the OK button. Check the box Block Messages to/from contacts who are not on the list to allow messaging only with contacts from the created list of contacts. Click the Apply button to save the changes. If you want to create the list of blocked contacts, perform the same actions, and after adding the contact to the table, click the Block button. Click the Apply button to save the changes. You can view, allow block messaging with the contact, or delete the contact from the list using the View Messaging, Allow Block, and Delete buttons. If you want to control messaging with other users in social networks, for example Yahoo or Facebook, you can enable control and create lists of allowed and blocked contacts. For this, in the right part of the social networking section, check the Enable Control box. To create the list of allowed or blocked contacts, in the left part of the parental control window, select Social Networking. In the right part of the parental control window, in the Contacts section, click the Add button. You will be able to add a contact to the list of blocked contacts once the controlled user signs into a social network and sends or receives messages to from the contact. In the Adding Contact window, select the necessary contact from the list of existing contacts. Messages from the selected contact are displayed in the bottom part of the window. Click the OK button. To block a contact, select it and click the Block button. To block messaging with the contacts not included in the list, check the Block Messaging with Other Contacts box. Save the changes by clicking the Apply button in the Parental Control window. You can also control or restrict sending private data, for example passwords, via instant messengers. For this, create the list of records which contain confidential data, for example home address, phone number, etc. Any attempts to send such data will be blocked, and the information about blocked messages will be added to the report. You can also monitor use of unwanted words or phrases, for example referring to confidential data within the user's messaging. To know how to control such data, please refer to the documentation to the course. Links for downloading are available under the Video area and in the main window of Interactive Interface.